island of Guam is currently under a state of maximum emergency as Super Typhoon Sinlaku, now a monstrous Category 5 equivalent storm, barrels toward the Marianas Chain. With sustained winds of 160 miles per hour and gusts exceeding 190 miles per hour, Sinlaku represents the most significant atmospheric threat to the territory in decades. As of 4 p.m. local time on April 12, 2026, the National Weather Service, NWS, Tian, has placed Guam and Rota under a typhoon warning. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center, JTWC, reports that Sinlaku underwent explosive intensification over the last 24 hours, fueled by record-high sea surface temperatures. The storm's eye is currently located approximately 110 miles east-southeast of Guam, moving west-northwest at 12 miles per hour. On its current trajectory, the eye wall, the most destructive part of the storm, is expected to pass directly over or dangerously close to Rota and northern Guam within the next 6 to 10 hours. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero has officially placed the island in Condition of Readiness 1, COR1. Under COR1, all non-emergency government operations are suspended, and residents are strictly prohibited from being on the roads. This is not a storm to take lightly, Governor Leon Guerrero stated in a televised address. Sinlaku has grown into a life-threatening monster. If you are not in a concrete structure, you must move to a government shelter immediately. Our priority is the preservation of life. Public schools, including Machananao Elementary and Estumbo Elementary, have been converted into emergency shelters and are currently at 85% capacity. The Guam Power Authority, GPA, has warned of island-wide power outages as the winds pick up. Crews will not be dispatched to fix lines until conditions are safe. The Port Authority of Guam and the AB-1 Pat International Airport have ceased all operations. All commercial flights have been canceled until further notice. Even if the center misses Guam, the island will experience sustained typhoon-force winds capable of uprooting massive trees, flipping cars, and causing structural failure to wooden or tin-roofed homes. A life-threatening storm surge of 15 to 22 feet is predicted for eastern-facing reefs. Residents in low-lying coastal areas like Pago Bay and Ipan have been evacuated. Sinlaku is expected to dump 15 to 20 inches of rain, leading to flash flooding and mudslides in the mountainous southern regions of the island. Across the island, the atmosphere is one of tense preparation. Long lines were seen earlier today at gas stations and grocery stores as residents scrambled for last-minute fuel for generators and potable water. We lived through Pongsona and Mawar, but the radar images of Sinlaku look much more organized and terrifying, said John Ada, a resident of Dededo. We've boarded up, we have our lanterns ready, and now all we can do is pray. Meteorologists expect the worst conditions to last from midnight tonight through Monday morning. Once the all-clear is given and the island moves back to Core 4, damage assessment teams from FEMA and the Guam National Guard will begin recovery efforts. For those in the path of the storm, stay inside, stay away from windows, and monitor local radio frequencies, K57 or 93.3 FM, for real-time updates. Meanwhile, as of April 12, 2026, Chuuk State is assessing the widespread damage left in the wake of Typhoon Sinlaku, 04W, which stalled over the region for nearly 48 hours before intensifying and moving northwest toward Guam. The storm, which reached typhoon strength while centered near the Chuuk Lagoon, brought destructive winds and torrential rainfall that have severely impacted infrastructure and coastal villages. Sinlaku was characterized by its slow, near-stationary movement during its passage over Chuuk, which prolonged the duration of hazardous conditions. A maximum gust of 102 kilometers per hour, approximately 63 miles per hour, was officially recorded at Chuuk International Airport as the storm's core intensified nearby. Residents reported continuous heavy downpours for over 2 days, leading to significant saturated ground and localized flooding. As of 1 a.m. HST on Sunday, Sinlaku was located approximately 135 miles north-northwest of Chuuk, moving away at 5 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds already increased to 100 miles per hour. High surf and storm surges pushed seawater into low-lying coastal villages. Residents on the windward sides of the islands faced significant shoreline erosion, with waves reportedly encroaching well into vegetation lines. The prolonged pummeling by tropical storm-force winds resulted in uprooted trees, including critical food sources like breadfruit and coconut palms. Minor to moderate structural damage to tin-roofed homes and traditional structures, downed utility poles causing intermittent power and communication outages across Weno and neighboring islands. Chuuk International Airport and local maritime ports experienced significant delays. While the National Weather Service, NWS, Guam has noted that weather is slowly improving as the storm moves away. Small craft advisories remain in effect due to lingering hazardous seas. Local social media updates captured the intensity of the second day of the storm, with residents sharing footage of flooded roads and wind-whipped palm trees. One resident from Weno remarked, "The stationary nature of Sinlaku was the hardest part. The wind and rain just wouldn't stop for 2 days straight." Chuuk state authorities are now shifting focus toward damage assessment and clearing debris from main roadways. Emergency teams are prioritizing the restoration of the power grid and ensuring clean water access for villages affected by saltwater inundation. While Chuuk begins its cleanup, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center warns that Sinlaku is undergoing rapid intensification and could reach Category 4 or 5 status before it impacts the Mariana Islands on Monday and Tuesday. Typhoon Sinlaku struck the state of Chuuk, specifically the administrative and population hub of Weno, with devastating force on April 10th to 11th, 2026. As the storm intensified from a tropical storm to a Category 2 equivalent typhoon while passing over the Chuuk Lagoon, it unleashed sustained winds of 100 miles per hour and torrential rainfall. The resulting impact on residential infrastructure in Weno has been catastrophic, characterized by widespread structural failures, flooding, and total loss of traditional housing units. Over 70% of residential buildings in Weno suffered partial or complete loss of corrugated galvanized iron (CGI) sheets, leading to secondary water damage. Heavy projectiles, including uprooted breadfruit trees and flying debris from neighboring structures, caused significant breach of wall integrity in otherwise stable homes. The coastal villages of Weno bore the brunt of the storm surge and high-velocity winds. Seawater intrusion reached up to 50 meters inland in low-lying sectors. This caused foundation erosion in several coastal residences, leading to leaning structures that are now uninhabitable. Immediate flooding of interiors has ruined household appliances, furniture, and personal belongings. The saline environment poses a long-term threat to the reinforcement bars, rebar, in concrete homes that were submerged. The heavy rainfall coupled with coastal swells washed away the soil beneath many homes, leaving floor slabs cracked and unsupported. While safer from the storm surge, residents in the higher elevations of Weno faced different hazards. Landslides and mudslides. Saturated soil conditions led to localized slope failures. At least 15 homes in the Nantaku area were either buried or pushed off their foundations by sliding earth and rock. The topography of Weno's hills funneled winds, increasing their speed. This resulted in the complete peeling of roofs, where entire truss systems were lifted off the wall plates. Weno's lush canopy became a liability. Massive falling trees crushed roof lines and punctured walls, trapping residents inside until rescue teams could clear the paths. A house in Weno is currently considered non-functional, even if the walls remain standing due to the total failure of supporting infrastructure. Most homes in Chuuk rely on rain harvesting. Sinlaku destroyed gutters and contaminated water tanks with debris and seawater, leaving thousands without potable water. Downed power lines remain draped over residential roofs, creating a lethal hazard and preventing homeowners from beginning repairs. Overflowing septic systems due to flooding have created a significant health risk within residential compounds, leading to concerns over waterborne diseases. The destruction of homes in Weno is not merely a loss of shelter, it is a displacement crisis. Hundreds of homes leveled, public schools and churches in Weno are currently over capacity, leading to poor hygienic conditions. Many residents run small mom-and-pop stores, sari-sari stores, out of their homes. The destruction of the residents simultaneously destroyed their primary source of income and food security. The sudden demand for lumber, cement, and roofing tin has exhausted local supplies, and the damaged port facilities in Weno are slowing the arrival of international aid.